What's going on? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel. We're online at www.whatsupinthesky.com, and you are looking at a Curiosity rover shot. This is from Sol 72. This one's a little bit dated, but still awesome. A lot of times now, a lot of these older ones, if you go back through the Sols, as we're like putting out our anomaly videos, they're only downloading so many at a time from the rover. So if you go back now and look at 72, for the first 2 months after 72 came out, there was nothing there compared to this. So all these now are starting to show up. So the place for anomalies to keep going back, and there's a lot better more crystal. It was just a lot clearer back then. Thanks, my buddy. This is from Thomas Mikey Schroeder Jensen. He's from the Mars Moon Space Club, Space Photo Club. All that'll be linked below. Check it out. He called this one the Eagle, and I thought it was cool because I'm a football fan here in America, and it's pretty sad that I'm the Redskins fan. But we Eagles are one of our rivals, and it does look like one of the Eagles logos with the eyeball right here coming out. And this whole picture, has actually two pictures right here brought into one. I'm going to show you that here in a second. As he pointed these out, just very interesting. I'm not going to take too long on this one, but I thought this was one that would interest my viewers. See, I go through and I point out everything to me that looks just a tad bit anomalous in these things. Um, but here I'll show you where we started. See, this is the one picture here, and this is it up here. Um, that's after I've done a little bit of a little editing to them. Here's a picture right here, and here's the other one right here. Now, if you want to see these raw ones, download it for yourself. I make these videos so you guys can go download them for yourself. I've been getting a lot more hits on my stuff, they're getting shared a lot more out there. I know it's easier to share quicker videos, but this one I'm going to go through it. Like I said, if you haven't watched all my videos, I go through the anomalies, I look at stuff, I speculate. I mean, there's nothing scientific here. It's basically just my speculation on what I see here. And starting with this one, because this is the interesting of the two, this is the more interesting one to me. Here's how it came from NASA. Let me go and cut this off right here, and that just gives you a good idea of where I was looking at. Um, you just kind of see this outrock just cropping here. This is kind of interesting. It kind of does look like, oh, look up here, how it kind of comes around. It might look like these rocks may have been formed or shaped like that at one time. And my theory is basically something happened on Mars, but people pretty much know this. Something happened on Mars, whatever it was, took out the civilization. I think there was civilizations, many civilizations. Maybe it happened many a times, like it has here on Earth, I believe. I don't think we know our own antiquity here on Earth. So, but that's another video for another day. I got the football game going on over here Sunday in America. So, all right. If I start yelling and screaming, that's why. Check this out. I thought the main anomaly is pretty cool, and I thought it does look like an eagle. An eagle would be looking this way. Here would be the eyeballs or a dragon's head or something like that. He called it the eagle, so we'll stick with it. But really, it just looks like an interesting carving or something left of a fossil, something along those lines. Um, there's not much other to say than that. You see what it is, you see what it looks like. Over here, we have to seem to have something buried though, something buried pretty ornate. How it looks. It looks like there's one. See these like they look like balls that are coming and they're equally spaced. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see how right here there's a blur mark? But I would absolutely think that that went on under that. And let's just see for giggles if we can't use a sharpen tool a little bit. That didn't work. Let me see if I can use the normal. Edit, step backwards. We experiment here too. That's why some of these videos take a while. You learn Photoshop as I learn it. Like I said, somebody called me a Photoshop genius the other day, and I just had to laugh. I was like, yeah, right. Half this stuff I'm learning as we go. So, I've been making logos and stuff like that for some people for long times, and doing pictures and stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff to me is new. Whole new ball game. So there's a lot of good people out there, and I can't sharpen that up any more than it is. But you could see. Let me make this a little bit bigger for people using cell phones. Um, that like they're little. Like I said, it's very ornate. The shapes of them. See, we got sphere, 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 and then right here where it's blurred, I think it keeps going on through there. Here, it keeps coming. You can see because where this is blurred on this mark right here, it keeps going. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe down to 9. and then the rest of it just looks to seem to have a little blur on it. So I just thought that was cool. Right angles with perfectly shaped round spheres don't seem to happen too often. I mean, so if you're looking for a reason to say that this isn't, right now you should know just because of that piece right here that something anomalous is going on with this picture. Whether it be that something, maybe the rovers aren't on Mars, maybe that stuff is man-made, maybe nature did something interesting that day, but we know it's not nature building these things with little perfect spheres. I mean, something carved this at one time was a piece of something, and who knows what it looked like? Who knows what a civilization would have looked like there? We've seen throughout. Curiosities, opportunity, spirits, even the Viking missions, we've seen remnants of that civilization for a very long time. And I've got subscribers that will argue that there's still stuff going on there. So as for more anomalies, let's get back to them. There's three spheres right on this one, and see how they're sitting right in a dark spot. This is what a lot of this stuff. Um, I look at, and I should start doing this, putting up some of this, some of the old Tibetan or some of the old like the beautifully carved things like that. Um, But anyway, yeah, I had to hit pause there. Sorry about that. But so that definitely is interesting to me. Let me come back out a little bit, and it seems to be, like I said, if you these, like I said, these carvings are so intricate, and especially some of the old Chinese stuff. That it's amazing wherever you go. If you look back in antiquity, there's just amazingly carved stone, um, crystals, all sorts of stuff have been taken out and made into beautiful shapes. Sometimes it's the smallest of figures in them. So. Now, down around here, there's interesting things down here. I'm starting to think that there is vegetation at least on Mars because I've seen a lot of water running on it. I'm working on a video now that's going to point out a lot of this water. As we go through right here, take a look at some of these, how this comes up and kind of comes around. This is where I start thinking like roots or something along that, something that hangs around the bottom of it where it's kind of moist. Um, you know, you guys might not agree with that, but that's just a little assumption I've had. All right, let me back on up out of here. Let's see if there's anything I think up here definitely gets to me. I love that little piece right there. To me, that just screams, intelligent design. Case closed. Now the rest is for fun. That's what you guys are here. I think if you're here watching this video, you've seen probably a couple of my videos in the past, and we're probably, you may think I'm batshit crazy, or you may think I'm right on, but I think we're probably thinking, if you're sitting here watching this far in, you're along the same page, and it's just more fun. It's like we're taking a tour. Even if you don't think that this stuff was man-made or whatever made, or you think that this was just nothing, at least we're taking a tour of another planet. How cool is that? Unless it's out in the desert somewhere. Either way, we're sitting here taking a tour of the desert. But just imagine, really, these are on Mars. You're sitting in your living room, wherever you're watching this, could be anywhere, and watching a whole nother planet. It's amazing. The technology, the life we're in here. Let's see. So this whole part looks pretty cool. This piece looks to be worked over a little bit. As always, I just showed you guys about the root system. To me, it just looks kind of interesting, like a little root system or something down here, and it all together looks like rubble. And then some of it, what's left, some of the stuff still has the ornate pieces on it, some doesn't. Some of it's been wind, blown down and stuff like that, depending on which one it is. Some of it's just been blocked out. See how right here has just been totally blurred out? And this was back on 72. So these things just start showing up, these older pictures, on the older saws, and they've got the blur marks in them. I think they hold back the really, really good ones just to the thumbnail section, so they can get through and do it. And I do still believe sometimes it's a computer actually doing the blurring and stuff. That it's not an actual human sitting there. Maybe a human checks it up after a while, but pointing out some blurring, as you can see right through here. Imagine if we could see crystal clear though, the difference you'd see. It's amazing how easy it is to hide things, especially when you make the picture look like this. All I did was to get it to here, to this right here, was run sharpen one time, and I synced it up with this right here. I matched the color, which is the little, on the rover, there's that piece that has the color. Of course, they don't take pictures of it too much, so we don't get to see the surrounding things, but see, look at the bottom of this one too. It seems where the rock goes in, or whatever the heck it is. It's just out of place compared to the other parts. But here, there's this pretty cool, just little rounded off, perfect oval at the end here, like the end of an oval, whatever that is. Haven't seen anything like that being made out in my backyard. Here, this piece was kind of cool. This could look like it connected to this. See that? It was kind of bridged right there, up here. And if this stuff wasn't blurred out, you see the same blur tactics as usual. There's a little sphere right here. It comes wrong. But see this right here? It's almost like a little perfect turn. It almost looks like a little mini highway. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the beings were this big. People say, well, why wouldn't alive beings mess with our rover? Well, what if the rover looks like Godzilla to these people? You know, that's the only thing I can think of why they wouldn't. Maybe that was all that was left. Of course, we're not looking at total ruins from a civilization that was a lot bigger. And there's the home plate. Check that out. Perfect looking home plate. All right, so here we go. I keep getting interrupted. Sometimes you guys don't even notice when I have to hit pause on it, but the whole floor of Mars is just amazing. I love to see how far down the actual good stuff goes. I think we've got, whatever happened to it. And here's this. This was also a really good piece on this one right here. Look how smoothed over this is. And up, and as it turns around this piece, it looks like it's got some eyes up there or something along the lines. I loved that. It was just too cool. As I scroll through it, the other one's going to get pretty good. Here we go. Here's another little fin thing that comes up out of here, like a little perfect fin, and you can see the shadow. The sun must be pretty high today because the shadows aren't. The shadows are pretty much coming straight down. Um, this is even with a lot. Let's, I was looking at this over here. I see just when you see these little figure eights and things, it's like they look like string or something that does it. And with the color, the way it comes back, I swear everything just looks like it's been blended together. I don't know another way to say it. Like if you look down here, even just with this, see how there's a big huge blur mark right here? Well, that blur mark right there, and why would it just be right there? Look at the blur mark right there is covering up something pretty cool. Look at this. It almost looks like a perfect sign or something. Up the top is rounded. It comes down. It comes to another piece like that. Almost another piece like this home plate piece that we saw. Um, where is it at? Where are you at? Right there. Almost exactly like that. Now from back here at this angle, you can't even tell. You can't tell anything's a difference. But when you get up close, you get the stuff's been moved, or the stuff's been hidden. What's there, what you see, is being blocked. It's not perfect. Like if you take one of your cell phone pictures and blow it up to this size, you'll see what I mean. It's when something's in, you know, when something's in focus, it's in focus. Look at this piece that comes out. Looks like it's got a bevel on it, a little perfect bevel all the way around it. So when stuff comes out like that, that's where I say, all right, well, this is definitely some sort of structure to something at one time. I mean, we're not sitting and looking at it probably how it's supposed to be sitting. And if you look at this piece right here, this is kind of cool. It just looks like something kind of. And once again, I should do a little video. Where do you see the blur? See the blur down through there? I do. Coming on, it's right through there, like a swipe right down through it. Looks like the end of a baseball bat. This piece, instead of it being a little fin coming up, this looks like a little rounded off circular saw. So that's why I love to see what's under this dirt. I think everything whatever happened, everything was thrown up and come crumbling down. So we're just seeing what's left of relics or whatever maybe uh, was left on top have put pieced together for themselves to make a sustainable habitat there, which I'm still not even sold that there is some there. I would think that it would be underground, and maybe the majority of it does live underground, and they come up if they can even come up. But this here, the random bridge between here and there is just to me it's just wild. Like what is this here? This is a wire connecting this piece to that piece, and it comes around. Look at the one here. Definitely can see it looks like it's the same size. It looks like the same size as this. Like if you're like coax, like if you're looking at cabling or something or tubing, looks about the same size. It's definitely bridging that gap there. And then like, all right, what else we got going on here, guys? I'm going to flip over to the other one here in a second, but there was a couple other things that I saw on here before that there was too good. One, I, I thought this was just kind of cool how this is right here. It kind of looks like a little, like somebody put their armchair out there. Like the little baby Martian tossed their armchair aside. I just thought that looked kind of cool. There's no blur marks on that, so whatever that is just fine. And it's also cool. How does this thing have? How did these get? See how this doesn't seem to be stuck in anything, but that's how the strata was built or something like that. It looks like something's holding that stuff apart. I guess it's kind of like this right here, and I wouldn't be surprised if this went with that piece somehow. Um, all right, let me scroll up through here and show you. Oh yeah, this piece right here. There's a couple other things. I knew there was one more thing here I wanted to show you. Whatever this is, I thought this thing looks very porous. It almost looks like metal or something that was melted down, or we just don't understand what maybe it is, or the technology of it. But see how it's got like rounded pieces, and if you follow them, they come around here. Here's the blur. Every time you get a little blur, you can't see behind it, but look, it's a little shaped over. The shapes go everywhere. Come up here in the front, it looks like a grill. Here, look at the symmetry right here. Check that out. Okay, here's some symmetry. Let me spin this a little bit because I'm in Photoshop. I should be able to do it. All right. You guys sticking with me? This is getting a little long. How far along am I? 16 minutes. You guys rock. I haven't done a long one in a while, so you who stuck with me are the bomb. All right. I forgot. Now I can't since I spun it. I wanted to make a box there and show you guys what I was talking about with the symmetry. All right. Well, see I'm gonna cut it straight down the middle here, right here. Right here, straight down. See over here, you've got the eyeball socket or whatever this is. You got a sphere here, a sphere there, little cheeky part there, and this comes like that, and that comes like that. It almost looks like it could be mirrored. Um, but whatever it's a part of, this little piece up here is definitely hanging off the top of it, and it's definitely off the top of it, and it's got the shadow because the shadows are straight under here because the sun's high up. See how it's coming here, and the sun's pretty high in the sky. You can tell that. Um, But it's cool right here too. Another almost looks like a little bowl or something like that. See that piece right here? Let me see if it's kind of interesting here how that one. What would happen if I did the dark up a little bit? Make sure I get it on the right one. I'm not going to get much of it. You see how well the sharpen stuff, and you don't lose much, but you really gain the clarity when I've sharpened to that one piece. The difference. And when you get back to this next, here's the other little piece right here I want to show you, then we're going to move over to the next picture. All right. See how at first I didn't think this would be anything, but look how the tubes or whatever seem to be running up and coming down. It almost looks like some sort of technology or something. It comes up along here. And it just could be, rocks on the side of a cliff here, but who knows? Oh, over here too. Forgot some stuff that I forgot was up here. See this, how perfect that is on there? I don't know if it's just like a little dragon that's sitting on top of it, or maybe it is. Maybe it's actual snake or something that's not just carved into it, but very cool rocks right there. To me, they just seemed like they were going to be for something, were for something. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but they're definitely very interesting. As we scroll down to this last one, all right, let me switch over to the next one, which we've got going. All right, so here you're looking at the eagle piece right here. You've got this piece up along the side here. Up here, you've got some more interesting things like that. Just strewn about this place. Stuff looks like it came off of, maybe lava is what did this. I'm not 100% sure, but something looks like a lot of this stuff was machinery or something at one time. Look how this just comes off like this. It's got a wire or something just coming off the side of it. See that? And here it looks to be coming down like something was sliding down it into the ground as we move right along. This one was kind of cool here. And here's the difference. See the difference between the background. This is what it came as. This is how, after I cleaned it up, how it looked. And you can look at the color, how much it pulls out. And right here, once again, all this is blurred out. So whatever this is, And right here, that's still all blurred out, even with all everything I've done. And this piece right here, which is blurred out, which looks like a little dude standing up. But this we saw this in the other one. But if nothing was going on Mars, why the heck would they be blurring stuff out? It makes no sense why things are getting blurred out. Here's a little S thing right there. Who knows what that's from? Yeah, we find S's all over this planet. So see how that looks like it's like a shoe or something upside down? You can kind of get into it. And then here you've got a shield piece. It's right there. I mean, it's got even looks like that even follows the same curve as the top. Um, and that's kind of blurred out right here on it. And it's like I said, it's amazing when you pull out how the blur goes away because it's such a fine piece to the picture, but you lose that much quality. I mean, when they blur that stuff out, you lose what looks like now what looks like a smooth rock used to be a very ornate piece like we find here on Earth. Um, you know, underground. That's why I love to dig down on Mars because what's under there is going to be the stuff that's really going to be that's going to stand out and will be totally intact. And we'll be there one day. There will be archaeologists on Mars. I'm 100% sure. Just a matter of getting there. As my quarterback just threw another interception, so it looks like football's over for me today. Something else, another one coming straight up and out. See that there? And another blur mark. Once again, we are not allowed to know whatever this is right here, but we do know there's something coming up out of it. But we're not allowed to know what exactly it is. We're just allowed to see little glimpses and pieces of things. You know, that's all we paid for. You know, the 2.5 billion was just a little glimpse for us, you know. You know, check that out. That's kind of cool. Just a little weird shape randomly. All right, what else was there on this one? Let me hit the one. Let me hit my little things. All right, last couple of things. I'm getting out of here. See that right there? Almost looks like a pail or something like that. Just shape's pretty interesting. Here, now this was kind of cool. Okay, this rock, whatever this is, has a lot of blur on it. See the blur? I mean, you don't see it over here. This is, but here's how you can tell. See how you can see little intricate things that looks like a little baby sphere, it looks like a rock or a pebble. When you put it over to here, you don't get that anymore, like you do right here. See, I didn't blur this one totally. But this thing was so interesting, almost probably like it looks down here where it's not blurred. Let's see there. See that? It looks like a little circle. It's got a little cap on it. It all needed to be blurred. Just like here, all this piece needed to be blurred. So we can see what this little piece on the end is in a little wiggly line, but we don't get to see what the rest is. So on this, whatever it is, almost looks like a piece of technology, is a square end here hanging off of it. It's bright. Look at it. And you can see that since the sun's high in the air, it does cast a shadow that matches that exactly. So what in the world is that? It looks like technology. You know, that definitely looks like something. Um, all right, guys. Here once again, more of a look. See, that was more like that first on the first picture right at the beginning I showed you, where it's got the little circles and everything. But see how it's blurred right there against you? Don't they're not gonna let us see exactly what's there. More shapes, more building. It's 90 degrees corner or something. Um, right around the corner you'll find something here too. Where is it? Well, that is interesting too. I was thinking about what this thing is. It looks like, you know, God only knows what it looks like, but it's got shapes in it, a little circle here, and a piece that runs off. This is actually red, and it's got like looks like a plum or something. This piece up here comes around. This is intricate, whatever it is. It's not just a rock, I can tell you that. Um, definitely not just a rock. All right, let me go up, show you. There's a couple more on here that were. Here we go. Check this out. 90, 90 degrees, two blocks. And all they did was blur it up a little bit to kind of make it look and blend in so you can't see what exactly it was. Who knows? Right here had something on top of it that looked like it was probably interesting. It's probably really interesting actually because you see how sharp that is. Some of these, look at the S again. Here, look on the front of it, it has like a circle piece to it. And then this up here looks to be blocked out. Very interesting. And look how this comes off like that. That's pretty cool. At the end here, there's something that comes off of it. The shadow kind of follows it right there. All right. And then back up to here, where once again you got more stuff just coming off of it. See that right there? How it comes up, comes off. So are we looking at vegetation? Are we looking at like, what are we looking at here? Look at, comes up here. Look at the color. What do you guys think? Coral? Could it be coral? Is that what we're looking at here? Maybe that's it. But this is what Thomas called the eagle. That looks like a little tuning fork. As we went over here, I see angles everywhere, and I'm sure you guys are like freaking out. Oh, look, how could he even miss that? Oh, how could you miss that? Everywhere. Just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything awesome. I showed you guys the boot looking thing here. Alright, don't want to make you guys sick. Sorry about that. And for you guys who like long videos, this is a long-winded one. We got into it. Ooh, let's check this over here. See how everything just seems like it was melted, pushed together, and whenever it came back down, it was like the primordial goo came together, and what was left was what was left of all this stuff. And these could be no importance to us. You know, I really think curiosity is blew by so many things that looked unnatural, like were totally artifacts. And anybody who looks at them with a really open mind has to see that they're artifacts. There's nothing on here except for a couple of the other things on here that are like, to me, are mind blowing. Um, the piece where, not this piece right here, but over here, this to me just screams intelligent life. Let me show you right here. Well, this does too. See how this piece, I didn't show you guys this one on the first one. See how this comes down? It's almost like a geode. See how that comes down there and it comes up and it follows like the same shape up? That's kind of cool. Let's see. Where are you at? This piece right here. That to me screamed intelligent life. Just that little bit. You know, even though most of it's gone, looks like whatever else was there attached to is gone. Um, Also on top here looked interesting, but that that's perfect. You know, the spacing of the spheres, everything there is perfect. It almost looks like that what goes down even more. Down here you got a little perfect sphere inside of that. And when you see this stuff, how could your brain not process that as just normal? Some people see patterns and everything, but that's a repeating pattern. It almost looks like a chain. You don't just get that. Um, Not often. So like I said, I can't say you don't just get that because, gosh, I, I totally could be wrong. I always put that. That's why I say I see what I see, you see what you see. So, all right, guys, nice long one for my people who love these ones. Of course, this one probably won't get as many hits, but either way, that's not what I'm about. If you made it to here, I love you. You rock. You are one of the best people. You are one of my top subscribers if you made it this far. So, you got my love. Peace.